What's up, y'all? And why? There we go. I said, why didn't we be playing? Is your mother a motherfucker? Go in here about talk about it. Is your mother a motherfucker?
Thank you very much, since Billy Gardner dog, and then
This is what we talking about today.
We're gonna play a new
It's Mother's Day. I want to start off by saying, happy Mother's Day to the mothers out there. Happy Mother's Day. And I gotta say happy Mother's Day to my mother, because my mother's dope. I want to start off by saying, and my mother, like my sister, and I see how my sister is with her children. Those some great mothers. And I'm gonna start off by saying, as I talk about this topic, I'm a little bit spoiled. I'm probably a lot of bit spoiled. I have a great relationship with my mom. Me and my mom hella cool. And my mom did such a good job with me. I be thanking my mom every goddamn day. Every day I be thanking my mom for the amount of time that she spent with me and the attention that she gave me. You know what I mean? I thank my mom for that, because I thought that shit was normal. It wasn't until I started working with kids that I saw that it's a lot of horrible ass moms out here. It wasn't until I started to get more outside my bubble that, like, god damn. And I'm gonna tell y'all some stories from my years working with children that got me to really see how real it is in the field. My card reading business, I hear so many stories that I've never shared with you guys because it's private information. Um, and I just hear from people, and I just different friends of mine who've had bad relationships with their mom, or no relationship with their mom. And it's something you don't hear about on TV, but it's something I think needs to be addressed, because how a relationship with how a person views their mom, how they view their dad, plays a big role in how they view society and how they view their relationships and the people that they become intimate with. All of that stuff is a reflection of one's and people's personal experiences. And I think it's too important of a topic to not talk about. And then I even see it with the cards. And I'm gonna get into some cards, like people who are like King of Diamonds moms and Queen of Diamonds moms. They usually, I notice in my card reading, people of certain cards, can be, a little harsher parents. But you also see, when you're dealing with harshness, oftentimes that harshness is what exactly that child needed to grow into what they need to be. Nothing is done by happenstance. And oftentimes, if you use these negative experiences for your growth, they can grow you into doing great things when you address these traumas and these issues and you use them to fuel you forward versus being defined by these traumas. So we're going to talk about all that today. I'm going to take some of y'all calls later on. We're going to do some card reading on some of this stuff and then talk about, controversial upbringings with controversial moms and how, ultimately we can still use that and how ultimately that's something that you can still grow from and use to become a better person. All right? The title's wild. Yeah. But what's up to everybody on Twitter? I know a lot of people are at their Mother's Day. I should have gone earlier because I'm on the West Coast. I'm going to go see my mama later. A lot of y'all people are at wherever they at with their mom, so I'm going to see a lot of y'all on the replay. But is your mother a motherfucker? And I think this is a very important topic because we see a lot of this going on out there in the world today. We see people who've had, bad relationships with their moms. And, all moms are not created equal. So should women who raise little terrorists be celebrated on Mother's Day? Do they get the same treatment as the women who spent time with their children? Gave their children attention with intention, or did you just leave your children out there for the wolves, for them to be raised by TV, primary education being in school, not at home, or worse yet, not fucking with your kids at all? And I appreciate the Happy Mother's Day. And Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there who are doing it as mothers. But this topic came to me as a question because it's like, I remember when I worked with kids, man, I would see some shit, yo. I would see some shit. I remember I had this one kid, and like memories over the last 4 months, really since the year started, I've been getting memories of my old job again because that job was so traumatic. I still don't remember 90 to 95% of those kids that I work with in those families. I still don't remember 95% of it because it was just still, a lot of it's still too damn traumatic for me to recall. But I just this morning, while I was on the phone, thought about this one kid that I had. And I used to call his mom, I used to call her Crip Mom. I used to call her Crip Mom. And this particular kid happened to live in the same apartment complex that I grew up in when I was like between the ages of like 1 and 5. Some of my first memories was of this apartment complex. And it was over like by Florence and Normandy where the riot started. It was right over in that area. Right down the street from where Reginald Denny got pow in the LA riots. Shouts out to Damian Football Williams. But I remember working with this kid, and this kid was like a little terrorist at school. Always talking shit, did not respect authority, didn't listen to any teachers, didn't listen to nobody. I was one of the few people he barely listened to. And I even say that, I say barely. And we was telling them, we was like, all right, we was like, all right, what we need you to do is, how the job worked. We set goals for the kids and the families, and we be like, and he be like, we found out that the kid was acting up a lot because Crip mom didn't give him no attention. Crip mom like would be doing her own thing, and the kid could do whatever the fuck he wanted to do, so he would do whatever he wanted to do. So we were like, okay. He was like, she's not gonna give me no attention. She's into her phone more than she's into me. And the reason why I called her Crip Mom is because when she would text me about what was going on with the kid, she'd be like, "Oh man, so there's some kid at school is fucking with my baby boy," but she would spell fucking Fuccin. Like she used to, and this was a formal job working with the county. She used to like text a nigga in Crip. And then I remember one time she was like complaining about the teacher. She was like, man, cuz is fucking with my son, man. Cousin give my kid homework, and he's complaining that he didn't turn his homework in, but cuz didn't give him any. I was like, who's cuz? She was like, Mr. Thompson, his math teacher. I'm like, this lady was called the little nigga's teacher cuz, and she wondered what direction he was headed in. And so anyway, little nigga was like, she ain't gonna do it. She love her phone too much. She don't pay attention to me. She be on her phone. She ain't gonna do it. And so we was like, okay, this is what we gonna do. Mom, can you give him, we're gonna set a goal. One-on-one attention for 30 minutes a day, 4 out of 7 days a week. Cause this is like around the time the PlayStation 4 was coming out. This is back when PlayStation 4 was coming out. And he wanted a PlayStation 4. And we were like, you only get a PlayStation 4 if you follow directives. That's how we would set goals. And mom, you agreed to give him the PlayStation if he meets this goal 4 out of 7 days a week. And he was like, she ain't gonna do it. She ain't gonna do her part. And I'm still gonna get the PlayStation. Watch. This how the little kid is talking to us. Mind you, he's like in the 7th grade. She's like, he's still gonna, she's still gonna give it to me. Watch. And we's like, and she's like, no, I'm not. I'm putting my foot down. He was like, yeah, watch. You can't sit that phone down long enough to give me attention. So I'm still getting that PlayStation anyway, because you're gonna feel guilty. This is literally how the kid is talking. And so she's like, no, I can do it. So we're like, okay, mom, so we're gonna start with now. Can you sit your phone down? We're gonna start, it's like 5 o'clock. From now to 5:30, we're gonna have this session. Can you please not answer your phone? And we'll count this as one of the days in your goal. And she's like, cool. So we start the session, we start counseling and all this shit. And about no less than 5 minutes into the counseling session, mom's phone ring, a text, and she picks it up and looks at it and then sits it back down. And then the kid is like, see, I told you she can't. I told you she can't sit her phone down. And I told you she can't sit her phone down. She gonna pick it up during our time. She gonna feel guilty. And I'm gonna keep talking shit. And then this is what he did. He was like, and she gonna buy that PlayStation. The little 7-year-old kid put his hands behind his back and crossed his legs and was like, I give it 2 weeks. Hell, I give it 1 week. By the end of this week, we gonna be talking, and she gonna pick up on the phone, and then I'm gonna do what I wanna do anyway. And when I do that, she gonna get tired of me doing what I wanna do, and she gonna buy me my PlayStation. And I swear to God, no less than 2 weeks later, that whole goal was crumbled. And not only did the boy have his new PlayStation 4, he had like 9 games to go with it. The nigga had more games than me. The only games I had when I first got my PlayStation 4 was Grand Theft Auto, Madden, and 2K. And this nigga had, not only did he have them games, this little nigga had all the other games too. And I was just like, man, this lady is raising somebody who gonna goddamn fuck somebody else up because there's anger at her. So I asked questions like this. I had this other mom, but then I'm just getting this started with some of my personal experiences. And then if y'all want, I'll open up the phone line for y'all if y'all got questions, or if you want me to read into the cards of some of your mom or your situation, because I will be reading some cards into these situations too. Another situation. I had this other mom. The kid was in group homes, right? The kid was in group homes. My agency was called in to help with the transition from group home back to home with mom. Now, this particular mom, this was crazy because she was like a Tina Marie. She was like living in the hood. And she wasn't an anomaly. I had about 4 or 5 moms that were like white. Or if they weren't white, they had a black granddaddy and you couldn't tell based on their phenotype. And they lived like in the hood and they be having a bunch of babies. Like I had this one mom, she was white, and they lived in Compton. And in an old rundown, cracked out apartment building in Compton too. And she had like 5, all the baby daddies was black. But she had 5 kids by 5 baby daddies. She really, really loved 2 of them. 2 of them, she was kind of like, oh. And the kid I work with, she hated him. She hated this motherfucker. So he was in group home, a little Elder Barge looking boy. And he came back from group home. And so I'm there to help with the usher in the transition. And mom would always just like give this kid a little extra hell. So one day, this kid had enough. And he picked up these 2x4s. And the 2x4s had nails in them. Because it was like in the alley behind the apartment, it was like an old abandoned couch. And so he ripped like some of the wood off the old abandoned couch. And it had like, it wasn't 2x4s, but pieces of wood with nails in them. 2x4s don't build couches, whatever 1x2s or whatever. Where the fuck would build couches? He had that. And it's a Friday. At my job, you work in the field, but you on the clock. So it's Friday. I'm thinking I'm done with working with kids. I get a call. I'm way at the Hollywood Bowl buying tickets, buying parking passes for the Hollywood Bowl. Me and the wife was going to go see somebody that weekend, that night, and I'm buying parking passes way in Hollywood. I had to go from the Hollywood Bowl to Compton on a Friday at 4 o'clock. So it took an hour and a half. Normal traffic, that's still a 40-minute drive because of how far Compton is from Hollywood. Normal traffic, 35 minutes, 35, 40 minutes. Hollywood Bowl, Friday afternoon, hour and a half. They're like, we're about to call the PET team. The PET team was the emergency response team when kids had crisis. And it's like it was only like 2 vans for the whole county. So it take like 12 hours for the PET team to come. Anytime the PET team came, I had to go. So I go way to Compton, like on a Friday. And this kid, the fire department's there. This kid got these 2x4s in his hand. And he ready to take off his mama's head with these, not 2x4, but with these pieces of wood with nails. And the fire department, like, this ain't what we do. Like, we was called here, but we don't fuck with these kids. And I don't want the police coming, because this is around the time of Trayvon Martin. This little half-breed, but he's still black. Mom white, but this is a little Elder Barge looking kid. So anyway, so I get there. And I'm like, kid, I'm not going to say his name. What's wrong? And he's like, Mama, he's crying. He's like, my mom hate me. My mom hate me. My mom hate me. And I was like, what happened? She said she gonna send me back to the group home. and she likes my brother more. She hates me. She hates me. Mind you, this kid still got this wood plank with nails in it. And the fire department, when they see me come, and this is like me as big as I am now, I'm about 100 pounds heavier back then. I'm about 100 pounds heavier than I am right now. I mean, I had about 3 more chins than I got right now. I still got like 2 chins. Back then I had like 5. So they step back. The fire department step back. And it's just me, this kid, and his mom is over there, and his brothers are in the room. The brothers and sisters don't even want to come out. And I'm like, put the wood piece down. And he's crying. And then so he drops it, and then he runs to me and gives me a hug, and he starts crying. Like the boy just like crying like a motherfucker. And I'm like, I'm just letting him cry, right? So now you see why I have so much memory loss when it comes to this job, because this is one of a bunch of stories like this. That's why most of this job I have no memory of anymore. But I do remember this story. And so the boy finishes crying, we sit down, and now it's a Friday. I'm in Compton, Friday night, 7 o'clock. That's usually when all the shenanigans start with shit. And this is before gentrification. This isn't now, this is pre-gentrification. This is before all that. This is like an old white ghetto chick. This ain't gentrification white people in Compton. All right? So we get to talking, and I'm asking, so mom, it's me, the kid, and the mom. And now the therapist is here. But the therapist don't know how to talk to this black kid. It was like a young Latino therapist who, she grew into be a great therapist, but at this time, she was only like 9 months out of college, and she was in over her motherfucking head. So everything came in on me. And I'm over here with a damn licensed therapist that just is traumatized, like, and I'm handling the fucking therapy session. And so I'm like, so mom, what happened? And she's like, he was fucking with the other kid. And he's like, because you like him more. And so I'm gonna find out the kid was fucking with the other kid because the mom said, it's why he's here. The reason why he's never gone to group home is because I like him. She told the boy that. And the boy said, the reason why he never went to group home is because she liked him more. And he started crying. And then he's like, she's a fucking bitch. And then the mom said, and this is what fucked me up right here. This is what fucked me up. The mom said, cause you are a little bitch. He a better kid than you cause he ain't a bitch. You a little bitch, just like your dad was a bitch. You little bitch ass nigga. And this is the mom, the white mom. You little bitch ass nigga. And that's why I'm sending your bitch ass to group home. Back to group home. And then the kid, you ever see the air leave somebody? You ever see the oxygen come out of a child? The kid, his cry came out so hard, no sound came out. Just oxygen. And he crumbled. And I walked over to him, and the little nigga crawled to like just went weightless. And the mom was like, yeah, I said it, you little bitch. You going back to group home, bitch. You little bitch ass nigga. I'm like, so I dealt with a lot of situations like that. And thank God for memory loss, because I don't remember most of my interactions with these kids. I don't remember most of them. I remember probably about 10 to 15 of them now. And I've had thousands. So thank God I don't remember most of that job. But I'll never forget that one. And that got me asking questions on days like this on Mother's Day. Do all mothers deserve celebration of Mother's Day? Is your mother a motherfucker. Oftentimes wonder what happened to that kid, you know? Oftentimes wonder because he did in fact go back to group home after that, and I never saw him again. So I saw him like once. No, I saw him when he went back to group home. I did, and when he went back to group home, because the group home they built from the same place we built from, so we couldn't have both. So, but my company would allow us to transition. So I saw him in the group home like twice, and he was so much happier in group home than he was at his mama's house. And so, but I never saw the kid again after that. Um, but anyway, this is real in the field, and we got to deal with these people when it comes to some of these cats you see online. That these a lot of these kids who grew up in these kind of upbringings, these are now your so-called relationship experts. I ain't talking about the ones who went to jail. A lot of them motherfuckers went to jail, but for the ones who didn't go to jail, they're now online as your so-called relationship experts, and they're the ones sitting behind screens telling you about women. A lot of that poison. Most of the kids that I worked with was Gen Z. You know, they were on that cusp of millennial, late millennial. I'm early millennial. They were either there was Zillennials and Generation Z was the majority of the population that I work with, and so I understand that generation for real, because I've worked with thousands of them, and so it's one of those situations to where these situations are real. And even, but let's go into the bad mother, the so-called bad mother. This is one thing I know about life. In life, you get the necessary obstacles that are there for you to get through so you can become your highest self. Okay? For me personally, my mom wasn't my obstacle. My mom, my dad, that's my true support system. I grew up in the most ideal situation any child could ever ask for. Most of my personal challenges came outside the home, mostly in the school system, with the school system trying to put me in special education, the school system, uh, me being a kid that I never missed. My first time ever missing a homework assignment in school was second semester, 11th grade. I never missed a homework assignment K through 11th grade. And I still only had a 2.0, 2.5 GPA. And so for me, school was a major struggle. I don't know why, but nigga, I do know why. I had dyslexia. I found out as an adult why. But as a kid, I didn't know why. But school, I studied, I did my homework, and the best grade I was gonna get was a C. And I saw these other kids who I knew, how did that dumb motherfucker get an A? And I played basketball with him, that nigga stupid. And so it made me think I was stupid. And a lot of my life, I thought I was dumb as fuck. For real. Even in college. I didn't realize I had half of a brain until I got to college. I was like, okay, because college made more sense to me than K through 12. But K through 12, I thought I was a fucking idiot. But I had other issues outside the home that put blocks up in front of me to get to. That the next person to see those issues is, what's that? You know what I mean? Other people got issues. Your parent was your direct issue. Your mom, your dad, they presented, like, you dealt with school fine. You dealt with things outside, social life. You were the life of the party. That was cool for y'all, for a lot of people. But inside the home, it's people out there who have parents that made good money. Everyone look at the parent and they be like, oh, y'all got a dope household. But you as a child, only you know that your mommy and daddy, your mama wasn't shit. But in front of everybody else, your mommy and daddy, they're in church, you know, because they got the new Lexus GS 400, and they wear suits to church every Sunday. They're like, oh, and then you go home and you know your mama ain't shit. That's some of y'all. Other people, it was your mama did the best she could do. Y'all just ain't had no fucking money. She was a great mom, but she couldn't be there the way she wanted to be there because she was too busy hustling to make you go by day to day. So it's not that you had a bad mom, you just had a mom that couldn't be there as much as she needed to be there because she had to hustle. And so that left you out on the streets, on your own devices. So you got into street troubles and street issues, doing things your mom told you not to do, but you did it anyway because you was a 13, 14-year-old boy who had to know, even though you knew better, she couldn't be there long enough to monitor you. So you did some fuck shit. And then you ended up making it hard on your mom. And there's a lot of men out there with guilt consciousness because you got locked up young, you had a child young, or women who had a child young because you were sort of left free. And you have a guiltiness around you, your relationship with your mom, not because she's a bad mom, but she literally didn't have the time to give you what she needed or money. So, whatever situation you fall in, you've been given the perfect challenge to play your cards out. Ooh, and it's funny the Queen of Hearts came out because people who have Queen of Hearts moms, these can be very tough mothers to have. If you're somebody and your mom was a Queen of Hearts, watch in the back. Queen of Hearts, they can be the most loving moms on one hand, generous out this world, or they can be the most emotionally callous. They usually go, they're usually not in the middle. If you had a Queen of Hearts mom, either she was overly loving, where you couldn't do no wrong, or she was cold, callous, and heartless. It's usually no in between with Queen of Hearts moms. And so, one major part of my company, what I do with my card readings is I get into people's relationships with their moms and their dads. And you really get to see that when you go through your cards, you get to see why your mom was the way she was. So if she did hurt you, if she did harm you, if she wasn't there, a card reading, it'll show you the why. And it'll also show you why that was necessary for you and how that was the perfect obstacle for you to get over so you can receive your Jupiter card and your rewards in life. So on one hand, it's a motherfuckers when it comes to moms out there. And all moms should not be celebrated equally because, look, all of y'all didn't provide equally. You know, all of y'all didn't give of yourself equally. But at the same time, if that mother was you or if you experienced that mother, you have to understand and learn that, look, that's just what the cards have for you. And within that being in the cards for you, it was a necessary obstacle. It was a necessary obstacle for you to get through. And if you play your cards right, that obstacle that was put in front of you through a mother who wasn't there, through a bad mother, is something that you can flip into something that's going to be all the way good for you. And for that, you could always go, and for this week only, I'm only doing it this week. The people who are on my email list, you already got this sale. Salute. I've already had a few people buy something. About 6 of y'all done bought these from my email list. But for this week only, for here on YouTube, we're doing gift readings. You can gift one to yourself or to somebody else. Beautiful thing about these gift readings is they're 50 off for the hour, 25 off for the 30-minute reading. So if you can get yourself a gift certificate right now at breakthroughcards.com. The link is in the description, and you can get, these are $50 off. You can gift them to somebody else, or you can gift them to your damn self. And I just put the link in the chat room. Links also in the description. So this week only, $50 off gift reading. So you can read yourself. You can buy one for yourself, or you can buy one for someone else, or buy two. Buy one for yourself and buy one for someone else. Get an hour reading for yourself. Get a 30-minute for someone else, or vice versa. You dig? Or an hour. I don't know. Get 30 minutes for yourself, but in these readings, you can really dig into why you went through what you went through and how you can use what you went through in your experiences to grow from and get bigger from. You dig? But now, call in if you want. You want me to read into you or your mom or a situation. Anybody had a difficult situation with a difficult mom? If you don't want to call in, hit me on the Cash App or hit me in the chat room. Give me your mom's birthday. Give me your mother's birthday or your father if you want to, and I can tell you why y'all relationship wasn't what it was, and we can get into what you can do to fix it. Salute to everybody in here. What's up, Lori Brown? What's up, Ben Frank? DJ Devin? You said ambulance call every week? You say your mom was emotionally callous? Damn. That has to be tough growing up with emotionally callous mom, because the emotions is what the mom, and let's talk about that. People who grow up with emotionally callous moms, that has an impact on boys and girls, but oftentimes more so boys, because the mom is where the boy goes for emotional support, and the girl, but the boy and his mom, that's where a boy should feel free to allow his feelings to flow. Especially if the father's there, because the father is going to put a limit to that. And the mothers should put a healthy limit to allowing feelings to flow. Allow feelings to flow, but don't let them go flow too goddamn long now. But the mom's supposed to be there for that. If the mom doesn't allow a child to process emotions, the difficulty is emotions get clogged up and the child grows into an adult that never learned how to process their emotions. And when you have an adult that doesn't know how to process their emotions, and now that adult has a child, oftentimes the number one issue between that adult and that child, as that child gets a little older, is the child not really processing themselves. Now the mothers, the fathers, the parents are left out. Like, what's wrong? What's wrong? I give them this, I give them that, but they don't want to talk to me. Well, they learned how to they watched you and how you process your emotions or don't. And they learned that through paying attention to you. And sometimes it's paying attention, sometimes it's just genetic. It just gets passed down. Let me see. Your mom's birthday. Okay. Okay, I got a birthday. April 15th. Let's see. Somebody said, oh, I just got two cash apps. I got y'all. I saw the one in the chat room first, so let me go with that one. Birthday 4/15. Oh, your mom's a six of diamonds. If you had a six of diamonds mom, she's probably very fair. She's probably fair. Six of diamonds is always about, they're fair people. Now, they can be strict, Your mom was strict. 415. Your mom was strict. No, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Where is it at? Here she go. 415. Yeah, your mom was strict but fair. She didn't let you get away with shit. Right? You couldn't get away with no nonsense. You know what I mean? But anything, if she gave you whoopings or any kind of consequence your mom gave you, when you sit back and think of it, it was fair. Let me see here. Four space in Mercury. That means your mom communicated to you in a very matter of fact way. Yeah. You say, yeah, man, it took 8 years to battle to find yourself. It take a while to find yourself, man. Yeah. The road to self is a long, lonely road, but it's a long, lonely road worth traveling. It's a road worth traveling. It is a road worth traveling, I must say. It's like what Frankie Berry said, the song Golden Time of Day. There's a time in your life when you find who you are. That's the golden time of day. And that's why it's important that you get yourself a reading, because we get on a much faster road to who you are. All right, next birthday, Cash App. Oh, Cash App. Okay, your mom's birthday, another April birthday. April 29th. Just pay your mom's birthday, just passed. Tell your mom happy birthday. She's 1965. Oh, your mom was a five of clubs. Your mom was a five of clubs. Very, very, very intelligent. Very smart. Shit. Over here, yawning. See, rating. I'm only gonna do a few more readings, man. Reading be taking energy, man. But the five of clubs, yeah, your mom is very smart, multi-genius, all over the place. Three of diamonds meant that she held you to a high standard. She talks very sharp and abrupt to you, and that's where a lot of your issues with your mom came in. She's very sharp and abrupt the way she communicates with you. Ace of Spades, Venus. That means you didn't know what angle your mom was coming from. Your mom kept you on your toes. Seven of Hearts, Mercury. She pushed boundaries with you too. She keep asking a question till you gave her the answer that she wanted you to hear. Oh, yeah. See, the key for you, the solution for you in your relationship with your mom. Who's this? Jamie. Thanks for the Cash App. The key for you is to know that when she talks to you sharply and abruptly, that don't take it personal. That's just how she communicates. And she doesn't really like showing her hand. Your mom doesn't like showing her hand. And you have to adjust to that and be cool with it. It's not personal, all right? Seems to me if you take it personal, your mom's not showing her hand. So don't take that personal. All right? So yeah. Card reading, you can find out who is who in your family real fast. You can find out who is who in a hot second. You can find out who is who in a hot second. But yeah, but you can also book your readings at DewanB.com or BreakthroughCards.com. He said, worth it? Hell yeah. Yeah, yeah. A lot of y'all are out right now doing your Mother's Day thing. So salute to everybody tuning in while you out. Everybody's gonna tune in later on. Everybody on Twitter, everybody on Twitch, Rumble, YouTube, Facebook. Thank y'all for joining. But is every mother a mother? Is your mother a motherfucker? Is she? If she is, understand this. Those were the cards that you were dealt. Those are the cards that you were dealt. Now it's up to you how you gonna play that. How you gonna play that hand? Are you going to capitulate and fall in line and just be like, and play the victim and live your life in response to a victimhood status, or are you going to play your cards to further your agenda and to further yourself? The cards are on you to play. You had a bad mom. You know, we all go through our own experiences for our own reasons. Just make sure you use your experiences to your greater good, whether it be good experiences, negative experiences, or indifferent. Hmm. Did your grandmother, great warriors, you stopped celebrating Mother's Day like years ago? Yeah. What's up, Stay Fly? But yeah, I'm about to get up out of here. I'm about to get up out of here on this Mother's Day, making it real quick. Cause I got to go see my mom. For those of you who have moms you love, cherish her. For those of us, for those of you whose moms are going away, my heart goes out to you. And I know at some point we all gonna have to experience that, but man, my mom's still here. I love the hell out of my mom. And I was telling her that the other day about how she really did a good job with us. When I was a kid, I was really into airplanes. I was into all kind of shit. I was into everything, man. Space, airplanes, ships. So my mom would sometimes take me out to Palos Verdes just so we can sit on the mountain on the cliffs and watch the ships come in to the port of LA. My mom, before there used to be a street over here off Foulmouth, right at the end of LAX Airport. There's a street there, but you used to be a turn and go up this hill, and from there you could see the planes taking off and landing. And when I was a kid, when I was 10, 11 years old, I would ask my mom to take me to go see the airplanes land. Man, my mom took me. I don't know how she did it because she worked. And then my mom had to work a full-time job. And then during tax season, she helped out this accountant during tax season. So from January to April, my mom worked 7 days a week. But somehow, my mom would find ways to take me. I want to find out. I would watch something on the nature TV shows about scuba diving. And this before the internet. When I would be like 8, 9 years old, I would read something on nature TV about scuba diving. And my mom would take me down to the library to borrow the encyclopedia so I could learn about scuba diving. Or to borrow or to get books from the library on scuba. My mom always had the time for me. And even to this day, my mom, man, shit. So I understood later on that I grew up in a honky dory, peachy cream environment, but my environment wasn't normal for a lot of people. And so I grow up with respect for that, especially after seeing what I seen. But I do know this through both knowing people who've had difficult upbringings, we've all had difficulty in some area. So whatever the area you had your difficulty in as a child, that was an area that you had to go through to grow through. And so embrace the opportunity of growth. and ignite, and even the most controversial people that have come into your life, they're still master teachers if you learned the lesson. You know what I mean? So it's like I'll be the last one to say I'm speaking from experience. Hell nah. My mom, shit. Used to take my mom would give me all the if I wanted a model plane, a model something, she'd get it for me. I couldn't get the most expensive shit, but the cheaper shit that they can afford. A model or something like that, man. My mom had me in basketball. My dad, shit, my dad, when he did music related in sports, my dad had that. But like, and my mom, man, shit, man, and my mom's still dope, still dope, and she's in good health. You know what I mean? Good, clear mind. So hell yeah, I'm about to go have fun. What's up, Kendall? Yeah. So your dad's a legend. Yeah. Like somebody said, mm, yeah. A lot of times you can go through things. Your parents are like, you remember your parents are who they are outside of us. And they had all of our parents had us without having us on our mind when they had us, if you dig what I'm saying. Yeah, it's very important that you see your parents for who they are so you can move on. And then moving on these cards, man, like a lot of people are going through emotionally traumatic stuff that you've had to deal with. So it's important that you come to me for a reading. And right now, breakthroughcards.com, we have gift certificates. So whether you want a reading directly or you want to purchase someone else's reading, purchase your reading now and get a discount. All right. Unfortunately, some of the fertile women are the ones that have no business giving birth anyone other than them. Right. So yeah, man. If your mother's a motherfucker, learn the motherfucking lesson and move on. You did. It's not like it's easy to move on because it's your mother. That's the hard part about it. You know, it's but you deal with the best way you can deal with it. Because at the end of the day, the most important thing in life is you. And you got to make sure that you're all right. And sometimes that means moving on. Some of you guys, that means just not having communication with your mother. Sometimes that is moving on. Some people have just had enough. And when you're with your mother, it just don't match. And so you've had to just not talk to her, not be around her. Shit happens. But the goal is to hopefully one day reunite at some point, even if you had to separate yourself and at least see if people are good. So, you know, for that's a very sensitive topic that I don't even want to talk about in general. Much easier if you came to me for a card reading. We really broke it down. Um, but with that being said, thank y'all for listening. And remember this: there are no perfect messengers, only perfect messages for those willing to pick up the game. Book your session right now. Go get a gift card. Get yourself, because the gift card is only available this week. So even if you don't want to get a reading this week, purchase your gift card this week. Even if you don't want to get a reading, purchase the gift card because it's only available this week. I'm only giving up $50 off this week only. Today is Sunday. By Saturday night, 11:59 p.m., the promotion's over with. And 25 off for a 30-minute reading, all right? That's this week only. Okay? Subscribe to my Patreon. All right. Y'all have a good one. I'm out.